Hello, everyone. This is Erin Morgan. I am with Insight Media, and I am here today for an episode of her Insight podcast, Women in Vision Care Leadership. I am very excited to be here today with Stacey Winter. She is the president of Lumenis North America. Stacey, welcome, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me here today.
It's fantastic to be here with you, and Lumenis has a lot of cool things going on. I think you are relatively new-ish in your position. Can you tell us a little bit about your own journey in the vision care industry and beyond, and how you kind of came to your position today?
Yes, absolutely. So I joined Lumenis back in 2019. So new to this position, but not new to the organization. Have a longstanding history in selling medical device equipment and state-of-the-art technology, which is what originally brought me to this space here with Lumenis too, but on our surgical division. And we had an opportunity in 2021 to introduce 𝖨𝗚light into the eye care market. And it was at that point in time that I became familiar with all things eye care, and there's been no turning back. It's obviously a phenomenal market and industry and so many wonderful people that it's been an absolute privilege and pleasure to work with in this space. So I've worked closely in eye care here since 2021, and just in 2026 here earlier this year, I was appointed to President of North America.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
What
I appreciate it.
An exciting role and a very exciting time, right, in the industry. For vision care, as well as in what Lumenis, the areas that Lumenis covers. Can you tell us just briefly what Lumenis does? Who is Lumenis?
Sure.
And what do they do in the vision care industry? And what is
Yeah,
the product there?
It's a phenomenal question. So we're actually celebrating our 60th year here at amazing. Most people don't know the history.
No.
And we were actually founded having invented the world's first photocoagulator for eye care. And so we've had a long-standing history within eye care and certainly within innovation. That speaks to our IPL for dry eye disease, more recently having brought 𝖨𝗚lift into the market for lower lid laxity and blink mechanics. But even before then, we were innovators for SLT and YAG for treatments of glaucoma. So we have a lot of technologies, all energy-based devices for in-office treatments of some of your most chronic and progressive eye conditions, certainly impacting a very large portion of the patient population. Outside of eye care, Lumenis also has an aesthetics division. So we very nicely marry between health and beauty. They don't have to be one or the other. And we certainly see that with a lot of our treatments here as well. We also have a team that's focused on our healthcare systems and treat our more acute conditions that a number of our energy-based devices perform. So we cover the whole compendium of all things energy-based devices.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for that synopsis. So your role is new as of 2026. That's really exciting. What excites you most about your role, your opportunities there?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of unique opportunities here that we Lumenis have. So we do have a longstanding history of innovation. I mentioned several of them and some of the great technologies that we bring to market, and there's no slowing down in that regard. So I think within eye care specifically, there's an aspiration for more in-office treatments. And so we want to make it accessible to more patients, to more of our providers, and support our practice owners, our doctors, as they're bringing this new technology into their practice. And so as we're looking into the future, we're really focused on making this easy to implement. We know that practice owners are busy, and so we want to make that seamless for them. So we're doing a lot to develop our ongoing education and clinical support so that this becomes something very easy to implement, not time consuming, and obviously accessible for the patients that we know are only growing in numbers in terms of looking for some relief that they're not able to find elsewhere.
Absolutely. No, that's fantastic. In going into the theme of our podcast, Women in Vision Care Leadership, how would you describe your own personal leadership philosophy?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. In terms of what I think everyone wants from a leader, I think it's really quite simple. They want care, they want hope, they want trust, and they want competence. And so from a philosophy perspective, it's very important to me that for not only how I approach the business and people, but that the individuals that I work alongside have that same philosophy. Because regardless of what position you hold, after all, we are in the people business. And I think it's really important that we're addressing those aspects that mean so much to the individuals we work with. We all probably spend too much time at work. I think you may or may not confess to that. So given the hours that we dedicate to it, the people that you work with have such an impact on your life. And so keeping that in mind too, about the role that you play in another's life, I think keeps it all in perspective and makes sure that you're managing and handling all of those situations with the impact that they ultimately have.
Absolutely. I love your kind of key terms, right, of leadership, or what people want out of leadership, that care, that hope. Yes, it's really a fantastic and unique perspective that's really on target. In that theme of leadership, what do you find most challenging as a leader?
Yeah, I think the difficult aspects of it are that at some point in time, you have to make difficult decisions that negatively impact people you care about. And that's something that just happens naturally from holding a role of that nature. And so being able to understand the impact of that and making sure that we're handling those conversations appropriately, I think that's the most challenging aspect for anyone.
Absolutely. No doubt. So as a leader in vision care, with Luminous today, where do you believe our industry is heading in the future? What would you say are some of the biggest challenges and opportunities in this
Yeah.
space?
Yeah, I think there's a number of different opportunities. One, I see more in-office treatments taking place, certainly, as people become aware of faster results that are readily available, right? We all live in this instant gratification society. And I think from an eye care perspective, we've really been limited in the past in terms of drugs and drops. And so having something that can augment that or even offset that as patients become more aware of the technology, I think we're going to see greater enthusiasm within that space. I think for our practice owners, having those opportunities as well, we all know that there's declining reimbursement pressures and more options for our patients to pursue some of the eye care solutions out there, right? Contacts and frames. And so having a really unique and differentiated offering in your practice, I think, is very important.
Definitely, right? Any kind of specialty or area where you can really differentiate is so critical today.
From a dry eye disease perspective, too, we know it's roughly 50% of the patients that are coming into your practice. I think even just a few short years ago, we looked at dry eye disease as a specialty. But when it's
Definitely.
of your patient population, it's now part of comprehensive eye care. And based on how we're using our eyes, there's no turning away from the device utilization and the impact that that has from a dry eye disease perspective. Knowing that it's chronic and progressive, I think we're going to continue to see more patients that need care and more patients that are looking for those really fast solutions.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for that. So, and my last question is, or more just request, is if you could please share kind of one key leadership tip or insight that you may have for other aspiring female leaders today.
I don't know if it will be a popular tip, but it's my tip, is don't think of yourself as a female leader. You're a leader. And people want from you. That's how they think of you. And that's how you are going to be most effective in the position that you have in leadership.
I think that's fantastic advice. Well, thank you so much, Stacy, for joining us today. We really appreciate your time and for our audience to share your insights.
Perfect. I appreciate it. Thanks, Erin.
Thank you. And thank you all for joining us today for Her Insight. We will see you again soon with more episodes from Insight Media.